been good this year. Too bad it ain't raining too much.
I know, it's terrible.
At least I got
Oh,
beach.
look, it's
Hey,
him.
look, it's
Hi,
Beth.
fellas. Did you guys hear about the new guy in NASCAR?
Yeah. That guy got his own brand of beer.
I heard that too.
No, it's not even, it's not,
What?
it's not
What the
fair.
fuck?
What the hell?
Do any of you know how to get to New Mombasa?
Yeah, it's back the way you came.
Yeah, now get the fuck out.
Get him. Alright. Alright,
What
anyway,
about
what
that
was we talking about? What about?